Hey guys, Justin here. I'm in Joondalup right now, and inside the little bit of a cavern tunnel part of the station, here comes our train to Perth. Finally been doing another vlog today. 104. It's actually a very cool part of the station right here. And we have the set at the back here. 105, okay, 104 and 105. Now the good thing about this train is it's 6 cars, according to the caption. Good, bad holidays. Because today's a holiday, it's Easter Monday. It is good because it's a holiday, so I can actually come out and film without actually worrying too much about studies. But at the same time, because it's actually a holiday, so that's why it's bad. Because the train services are terrible. Because first things first, in Joondalup line and Mandurah line, during Sundays and public holidays and Saturdays and some stuff like that, they use this 3-car train sometimes. It's just not just sometimes, it's like 50-50. It's literally like 50-50 for 3 cars and 6 cars today. Like yesterday as well, and also on Saturday as well. It's basically like one 6-car gone, the next one would be a 3-car. Which for the 3-car trains are so damn packed. So that's why it's not going to be that great for filming. But luckily I got a 6 cars, which of course you guys, at the same time 6 cars is a little bit boring because it's usually we have 6 cars. But it's safer to film. It's cooler to film a 3 cars as on the Joondalup line, and also here's the second part. This journey is from Joondalup here to Thornlie. Actually originally it's actually Thornlie to Joondalup, but I've done one to Clarkson already last time. It's actually been a while, like a month ago already, but I've done the vlog to Clarkson last time, so that's why let's do the other direction this time instead of doing the same thing. And yes, we're going to Thornlie. The Sunday and public holiday timetable for Thornlie Line trains is 30 minutes per train. So that's why. Now technically I can actually take an Armadale A pattern and change to a T afterwards, but at the same time still you have to change back to a T eventually if you want to go to Thornlie, which is 30 minutes per train. So, but later on I'm just going to do an official 30-minute the Thornlie Line full journey later on for the second part. So we're also going to take a look at how empty Perth Station is during the shutdown. Now it's still shut down right now for the Midland Line and Airport Line, still shut down. So you can see how empty it is. I have been into Perth Station one time and I've already checked it out, and it's literally empty. Okay? Literally no one is even on the platform. Even like trains towards Claremont or Fremantle, there's literally like no one even there. So that's why later on we're going to check out the Perth Station. But first let's go down to Perth and change to Thornlie. Thank you so much, Joshua Chan, for this request. So that's why it's good, bad holidays, because good I can film, bad is trains. Terrible timetables. Next station, Edgewater.
Next station, Edgewater.
I'm at the back here, but that's okay. We're at the back. Later on for the Thornlie Line trains, I probably can actually have better spots to film instead of actually using the first or the last car. I can do probably in the middle cars. I always prefer actually filming in the middle cars because it's like very often that I'm gonna have a chance to actually film with the last car because not too many people. So it's better to actually film more in the middle car than film in the back cars. But we're gonna do a back car for now. At least this is like a 6 car, not a 3 car. If it's 3 cars, it's gonna be miserable. But I want to do in the middle.
This is Edgewater.
So it's 105 and 104.
Doors closing.
Okay. Now you guys know I cracked my phone. I don't know whether you guys know I dropped my phone the other day and then I cracked it. So I changed to another new phone again. So this is actually way better than my previous one. My previous one is an A22, which is a pretty crappy one. Now I got the brand new Samsung A series, which is the A54, which is a very, very, very new brand. So, because you can see actually it's so new that I've already got this for around a week now. It's around 5 days. I still haven't actually got a hands on a case for the phone. You can see it's still a no case phone because shops outside selling phone cases and all of those like phone repair shops, like something like that, they don't even have any cases because it's too new. So. But yeah, if you guys have followed me on Instagram, then you guys should know what happened to my other phone. which is so stupid because last year, around the same time, I lost my phone on a Route 101 journey filming. I filmed that journey and I lost the phone after taking that journey, so that's why. Last year I lost the phone, this year I got my phone destroyed. So, if you guys have followed me on Instagram, then you guys know what happened to my phone, but yeah, it got ran over by a bus. So, I was running across the road to catch the 34 after a lesson at uni, and I didn't realize my phone is dropping out from my pocket, and it dropped in the middle of the road without me noticing. After I get on and ready to board the 34, coming in, the people around me just notified me that my phone dropped. While that happens, the 34 just ran my phone over, so that's why. And rather actually to repair the phone, which cost me like $300 to $400, why not just buy a new one? Although this one cost me $700, which is pretty bad, but this is a brand new one, so hopefully, this time, I can actually use this phone for more than 1 year, because I still haven't actually got a chance. I mean, I still haven't actually been able to actually use one single phone for over a year, except the one that I'm actually using for filming, because this one I don't really use every day, so that's why I don't lose or break it. So this phone has been here for around a lot of years already, this phone. I've been using this phone to film for a lot of years already, so at least 2 years for this phone. When I start filming in 2021, I start using this phone. I mean, 2020, I think I'm also using this phone. But at the start, I used my Android phone to do some of the filmings, and then some of the longer journeys, and I used this phone to do. But now I just switch everything to use this phone, even if it's long or short. So, there are not a lot of people at the back here right now, so I'm just gonna film across until people comes in. Now here we are with this next station, Whitfits. I don't know whether actually there are any trains that actually ran over from on the other side already, like passed by, but I probably was way too focusing on talking and I didn't even know. So, but like I said, there will be basically 1 3 car and 1 6 car and 1 3 car and 1 6 car like that. So
This is Whitfits.
this is Whitfits.
Doors closing.
This train is pretty slow right now. I don't know why, but next station,
Next station,
Greenwood. Alright, so Greenwood doors open on the left, the only station that doors open on the left for Joondalup line. Of course, later on when the Yanchep extension opens, then Butler will be the second one because it will be travelling on the left, so that's why the Butler station is actually on 2 sides. It's a side platform, it's not an island platform, so that's why Butler will be the second station that's going to be on the left side later on in the future. But right now, only Greenwood is actually doors open on the left. And also I've pressed the button, so that's why.
Greenwood.
The doors will open just a little bit, just to have a quick shot. And there are not too many people I can do these kind of things. Next station, Greenwood. So it's been a while since I had bus journeys, so that's why bus journeys will be coming up very soon. We do, I think, 2 requests this week because this week's actually study-free week for me, so that's why I have a little bit extra time without going to school that I can actually come out and film a little bit more. So this week we'll do quite a lot more filmings than the usual load that I do right now, which is once per week. Around 1 to 2 times per week, but this week I'm going to do maybe 3 to 4 times. So. And I'll slowly but surely premiere it. Like Mark is actually premiered pretty hardcore as well this week, so that's why. Because it's like Easter holiday, no one needs to go to school, so that's why I just do a little bit more premieres. So I'm not gonna try to overlap with Mark's premiere, but I'm gonna, of course, like I think yesterday is the Monday premiere or something like that. At least, but of course the MTR Station series will be still at the same time with Mark on the same day. But of course Mark's will be.
Next station,
Of course, Mark's premiere will be first, and then mine, MTR Station series. And then try not to interrupt with Mark's schedule of the premieres afterwards. I try to premiere on days that he doesn't premiere, then I can have like better arrangements. All right, next is Warwick. Which I again actually pressed the button, but I was going to press for these 2 stations. I'm not going to do anything stupid. Running by the highway again.
next station, Warwick.
Next station, Warwick. Right, Warwick.
This is Warwick.
Alright, because everyone is gone now, so I can just sit down. I can sit down and film for maybe 1 station, because next station is Stirling. I bet there will be tons of people getting on. And there's a train on the other side. 98. It stopped all the way at the front, so probably it's a 6 car. Yep, it is a 6 car. 98 and 92. Okay. So probably the next train that we're going to see at Joondalup will be 3 cars later on.
Next station, Stirling.
Next station, Stirling. And technically this is actually like an original full journey, because like original 2 full journeys, because usually the Joondalup line terminates at Joondalup like how many years ago? 30 to 40 years ago. And then they extend to Clarkson, and then Clarkson they extend to Butler. So Butler, I think, is like 2014. I don't remember the years. Like a lot of you guys have said that have mentioned the year a lot of times, and they said that it's just every 10 years one station opens for the Joondalup line. I think it's like 1994. Clarkson opens 2004, Currambine, and then 2014 they opened Butler, and then they plan to open Yanchep in 2024. So basically every 10 years one new station. I think that's some of you guys how you actually said it, but I don't really remember. So maybe you guys can help me out and correct me in the chat or in the comments. Really appreciate it. Still be careful though, because there's actually a lot of people in the next car. It's just completely empty at this car. You see literally no one. And also literally no one there. But there's quite a lot of people in the next car, so hopefully not too much trouble. And now, usually transit officers, if they are a transit officer checking tickets, they usually board at Stirling or Glendalough, so that's why hopefully we won't get checked. Now, of course, I don't really mind getting checked because I have tagged on, so. And this year I'm not cheating anymore, I'm really for real having a student tertiary card, so that's why. Instead of actually last year having a standard card and cheating the system by buying concession tickets. Don't expose this to TransPerth though. Just kidding, just kidding. So according to the TransPerth official website, I think it's also on Oasis for my uni, Curtin. They actually stated that in order to get the Smart Rider concession fares registered into your card, you have to be enrolled in 75 credits or more for one semester. Which I actually have to enroll in full 100 credits. So that's why, of course, I will be getting the concession fare. But last year, due to the fact that I'm just finishing off the units, and I'm only doing 2 units last year, which is 2 per semester, so 50 credits for every semester, which is lower than 75, so that's why I don't get the concession. Alright, here we are at Stirling. There's literally no buses up there, what the hell? And here we are at Stirling here. I bet there will be people boarding here. Such a big station. Just kidding, apparently not at the last car at least. Yep, not at the last car. A lot of people boarding in the 5th car, but not on this car over here. Yep, no one is here, but I'm gonna lower down a little bit just in case these guys walked over. Okay, no one walked over. I can lower back and get back up now. But probably Glendalough, for sure there will be people. If not, I can actually go all the way to Perth because Leederville, there might be, because the exit for Leederville is actually pretty close to the end of the train, like this way, instead of actually the other way. So, there are people walking over though. If they actually walked all the way over here, then I'm just gonna stand back up. Okay, looks like they're walking all the way over here. Let's stand back up. Okay, they did walk all the way over here, but they're not sitting down, so I'm just gonna do this. Do my original style, not sitting down, but just swimming across. Next is Glendalough. Next station, Glendalough. Transfer here for Scarborough bus services. Actually, technically, if you want to go to Scarborough today, it's better to change at Glendalough. On weekdays, if you want to go to Scarborough, change at Stirling. Way better to change at Stirling during weekdays because there are 4 routes that goes to Scarborough from Stirling instead of just one at Glendalough, which is the 990. But for weekends, it will be better for you to change at Glendalough because Glendalough on weekends, it is still 15 minutes per bus, 990. On weekdays, technically, actually at Glendalough is like around 7 minutes per bus because like half of the bus will be deviating and terminating at the Glendalough station from Scarborough for the 990, not going to the city. But on weekends and public holidays, it is 15 minutes per bus port to Scarborough via Glendalough station. So Want to change? Better to change at Joondalup for the 50-minute service, 50 minutes 990 service, rather than taking to Stirling and wait for years to get the 421. Yes, the only route that operates, not only route, maybe two. I think it's two. I think 410 and 411, these two, one of them will be operating on weekends. I'm not so sure about that, but I know the 421 will be operating. But it is 1 hour per bus for this 421. 422, no service. For public holidays, no service. I think on Saturdays, 2 hours per bus to go to Scarborough.
Transfer here to Scarborough bus services.
And then the 421 is the only one that you can rely on if you actually want to take at Stirling to Scarborough, which is 1 hour per bus. So better to change here for weekends. But weekdays, Stirling. Stirling will be better. Because the 421 will be half hour per bus, and then 410 and 411 also have regular, like half an hour service, I think like that. Oh, I saw a bus down there. I think it's number 85 over there. Let's see. Yeah, you can see Joondalup Station because the exit is literally right there, right at the last car here, so people will be boarding here. But let's see where they sit. If they sit not close to me, just keep going with the style.
This is Joondalup. Transfer here to Scarborough bus services.
They sit next to me? No. If they don't, okay, more people walking over. Yeah, okay. Let's get the door closed though. Okay, peace. We'll go back to the side now. Next station, Leederville. Oh, here's a train. 3 cars, like I said. Said 63. So, I think you can see something with the reflection on the windows over there. I didn't turn, but you guys probably can see it reflect on the background with a train running through on the other side, which is says 63, 3 cars. So, like I said, so probably when we hit Perth, we're gonna get, is it Perth or, oh yeah, when we hit Perth, we'll get another 6 cars, so. On the Butler side. So of course it says choose Mandurah later on. It's not having any W pattern, so everything will be Mandurah, 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 Mandurah. So later on we have Fremantle Line services. And technically it's just Fremantle Line services. I don't count the Perth to Claremont as airport line really. So I don't really count it as airport line anymore. When it doesn't go to the airport, I don't really count it, but the system shows us as the light blue, the sky blue color that the airport line uses, but technically when it goes back to Perth, it just regards everything as Perth. I mean, as the Fremantle line, instead of a airport line. So towards Claremont, I think they will still show a light blue color, but towards Perth for the airport line, they're just going to show Fremantle line. Because technically, the trains that terminate at Claremont are the airport line trains, while the trains that actually terminate at Perth are the Fremantle line trains. So that's why, because for airport line trains, they have the system set up already as Highway Combined Perth and Claremont.
Next station, Leederville.
While for the Fremantle line trains, they set up the station terminating at Perth. So that's why when it says Perth, it should automatically show blue instead of the sky blue that the airport line does. But towards the other direction, because it's Claremont and Fremantle, it's 2 different things. So that's why they show 2 different colors. And here we are at Leederville.
This is Leederville.
So it's getting on here.
Doors closed.
Next station, Perth. This train runs from Perth to Mandurah, stopping at all stations.
Next station, Perth. This train runs from Perth to Mandurah, stopping at all stations.
I'm getting better at this announcement. Before it was a little bit not the same, but right now I have high faith that's actually the same. Next station, Perth. This train runs from Perth to Mandurah, stopping at all stations. It's not like very slow, it's pretty fast and just spit out the words. Like not like Fremantle, because the Perth to Fremantle was this train runs from Perth to Fremantle, stopping at all stations. But for this one, it's just this train runs from Perth to Mandurah, stopping at all stations. Just one word after one another. No need to like lengthen out on one of the words like Fremantle. It's like they do Perth to Fremantle. Fremantle is not Fremantle. It's like Fremantle. So. Or not like the Butler version, it's like they need to stop after Butler a little bit. So it's like, this train runs from Perth to Butler, stopping at all stations. Butler, stopping at all stations. Instead of like the Mandurah one, this train runs from Perth to Mandurah, stopping at all stations. The stopping just comes out right afterwards, so. Ready to go into Perth here? We'll probably see some trains. You're just gonna see from the reflection. Not gonna turn, so. There won't be any B series. Today there are no events at Stadium, so I bet no events. Yesterday there is an event, but today probably no. Today's Easter holiday. There might be events actually. Let me check over here. No posters over here. Okay. I think I saw a poster at the front, but they're not over here. So this train is going underground. It says already this train runs from Perth to Mandurah, so of course. No trains on the other side. Rip. And here we are at Perth. Slowly but surely enter first though. We'll just cut ahead. I'm not going to walk the path, but since I walk up to like platform 5 and platform 4, I'm going to start filming again. There will be staff, but I just walk through the staff very quickly and you can see how empty Perth Station is later on. Hopefully it's going to be empty, I'm not so sure, but might be having more people today. Because last time when I went into the Perth Station, I think last time, it was actually Good Friday. Yeah, I think last time when I walk into Perth Station is Good Friday, so it's literally empty on that day. And then since then I've not been into Perth Station. I think on Saturday I've been to film the Leaderville to Warwick part. I didn't really go into Perth Station. I used Perth Underground, but I didn't use Perth. But on Good Friday I entered via Perth to get to Perth Underground, so. And here we are at Perth here. Of course, the insanely loud ear rape turn over here. Nice, getting off time. Right, Perth. The outside train should be a 6 cars as well. Alright, here we are at Perth. So it's pretty packed, so let's just head up to the top and we'll head to Perth Station. So here we are. I'm not so sure whether I've got this on before. The Midland Line and Airport Line, nothing, completely empty, with this side still going normal as well. And there will be my Thornlie service, which will be 14 minutes, which is not too bad. At least it's not like 30 minutes. So. And again, the train services for the Midland Line and Airport Line shut down. Everything for today, it is weekends and public holidays, so that's why it's Perth Busport. But no worries that the buses won't stop at Perth Station because it stopped at Perth Busport. It will stop at Perth Station after it head out from Perth Busport. So it's just kind of dumb that I should add an extra station, but it should stop. But let's get up there now. Alright, here we are, made it up here to Perth now. And I've walked back past those 3 transit offices back there. And of course, usually no one's back here, even there are normal train services. But over there I've checked, it's pretty packed. Not really pretty packed, it's like 10 to 12 dudes on a Fremantle platform. Today there are, because it's the weekends, yeah? Yeah, so because, oh, there's a train coming in. Turn back sidings after done is coming in over there. You can't see it because the light is really bad, but here's a train. Entering platform 7 after turn back. Actually, it's not. It's set not in service. Is it gonna have service for that one? Looks like it's a Fremantle line train. Because they can literally just use the A series for the Claremont part as well. But there's a train coming in right there for platform 7, right over there. Set 47 and 40. We'll wait for our Thornlie train, which again, they're actually, because it's actually a weekend, they count this as public holiday and it's count as a weekend. So that's why the Armadale line are stopping at Perth Stadium. But again, because there are no stadiums events, so the Thornlie one is normal. No Perth Stadium for Thornlie. So again, it's stupid. And there's also a B series out there. I won't be able to catch that one. We'll see that later on. Let's wait for our Thornlie line train.
This service runs all stops.
All right, here's our Perth T, which is a Thornlie T. Actually, I show you guys the board earlier on for the information board, but I just show you guys without actually reading. This train is 2 cars. What the actual hell? Why? Set 34 here for this 2-car train right here, which is pretty bad, which is actually very bad. And I also just heard the announcement for the Armadale when it actually do a C pattern with Perth Stadium. Okay, filming interrupted by transit officers over there, but I just stopped because of transit officers coming in. But let's I know let's get in there now. This is so we're on board the train here. But like I said earlier on, this is actually a 2-car, which is actually pretty bad because although it's a Thornlie train, but still quite a lot of people actually take. Like I said earlier on, this train takes 8 more minutes to depart, so we're gonna skip again. This train is Thornlie, but I just heard the announcement that the Armadale one actually uses. It's so stupid. It's a C pattern, but with stop at Perth Stadium. And then they do it this way. Armadale passengers, your next service departs from platform 5. This service stops at McIver and Claysbrook, then runs express to Oak Street, then Cannington, and then all stations to Armadale. This service also stops at Perth Stadium. Why? Why they actually do this? They said after Claysbrook they run express to Oak Street, then people won't be knowing where the hell is the Perth Stadium stop, you know? So why not just said after stopping at Claysbrook and then Perth Stadium, then runs express to Oak Street? Why? They actually need to do Perth Stadium at the end of the whole sentence. That's kind of weird, but the transit officer is walking back here, so they're going to skip forward and wait for the train to depart. Alright, time to go. The train is so packed because it's 2 cars. Even though it's actually to Thornlie, so many people will take this. Because technically, if they're going to go to Burswood or whatever those stations in the middle, they can just take this one, it doesn't matter. They don't need to wait for an A pattern. There's a Claremont. Oi, nice. Nice set for the Claremont one, set 69. Parked at the sidings right here, so I saw it says 69. Nice. Next station, McIver. All the trains going to McIver only for Armadale and Thornlie. No trains on the other side platforms. So technically right now, if you actually want to change from the Armadale side to the Fremantle one, you actually have to change at Perth. You cannot change at McIver or Claysbrook. Usually sometimes I might change at McIver for fun, but now you can't because there are no trains here. You have to get on at Perth. There's a Perth A pattern right there. That's all stops from Armadale. I think 4 cars for those. Set 41. Oh, just kidding, 2 cars. Really unfortunate. So again, yeah, only one side have trains, the other side nothing.
Next station, Claysbrook.
Oh, what the hell? Just kidding, I thought there was like no trains over there. There's a train right there. What the hell? It probably came out from the depot. It's completely empty. Of course it's completely empty, you cannot board. Shut down, so. But because of the whole line shutdown, it's basically just for Bayswater Station. So that's why trains can literally still actually continue to run in the middle tracks. That's why there's a train, literally there's a train right there to Fremantle. Are they actually bringing Are they actually bringing some random trains to like East Perth and use the sidings to cross over? Because due to the fact that the siding at the private may be a little too short. Not so sure, but there are literally trains just keep running through these tracks without actually stopping. So technically, why not just terminate at East Perth? Literally, I'm not joking. They have the sidings at East Perth. They have the crossover at East Perth. Why not just terminate the trains at East Perth? So why not just terminate at East Perth? At least we can go to East Perth. And at least, oh, there's change of drivers. At least like we can go to East Perth without doing stupid things like this, and while the train's literally still running on the other side track. Oh my gosh. There's some drivers over there. Next station, Burswood. It's actually a female announcer, which is actually pretty... It's been a while since I actually heard a female announcer on the Thornlie train. And plus, it's actually been a while since I've taken the Thornlie train, so... Literally, it's like, why do trains not terminate East Perth? When they literally just doing shutdown because of the Burswood Station problem. It's literally because of Bayswater, they actually need to shut down the whole station, but at least like get to East Perth or something. Set 24 and set 7. I thought I saw this train earlier on, but here we go, let's continue, let's keep going. Oh yeah, here's the spot that I actually ate at the restaurant last time. Very close to the spot I ate at the restaurant last time. That fancy as hell restaurant. And I literally can hear trains actually running by at the back. I can hear the sound, but I cannot see anything. So, again, here's the stupid part. Only the Armadale Line trains stop at Perth Stadium, while the Thornlie one doesn't stop. But at least today is good, because the Armadale one, at least they have the all-stop pattern. So then at least trains after stopping at Perth Stadium, they can still go to Burswood and Victoria Park without actually doing too many stupid things for the passengers. Like, because sometimes on Saturdays, not sometimes on Saturdays, every single Saturday, if there's actually no snow events at the stadium, the Armadale Line trains are all running a C pattern with stopping at Perth Stadium. There are no all stops, while the Thornlie trains doesn't stop. So basically, the trains that stops here are the C patterns. That the only C pattern stops at Perth Stadium. That's stupid, because then the only train that stops here is the C pattern. Then how can you go to Burswood or Victoria Park? You literally need to take a C pattern to Oak Street and then go to the other side and change back. Which is so dumb that when they do that. Now, when there are events at stadium, the Thornlie one will stop at Perth Stadium as well. But during no events day, they only runs the Armadale one to stop at Perth Stadium, which is so dumb. I don't know why they need to stop at Perth Stadium for this. When there's literally nothing there. Literally no one even uses the station and the trains actually stop there. And next is Burswood. So people are taking the Burswood just because of the casino, Crown Perth. This is the station that you go to if you want to get off and go to Crown Perth, which is just over there. So, Crown Perth is just down the road, so that's why a lot of people are taking this train to go to Crown Perth.
And this is walkable.